Yeah, we just need to see
this is sport
what's
glasses.
going. It's
No,
logged in,
those
actually.
two?
No, these are
It's
regular.
logged in.
Oh, they look. They got a sports style. Sports style. So.
Okay, so
Holy
you just do your
smokes.
thing, man. So people.
No,
are
but we just want to see
unplugging.
what's on.
Yeah, no, do it. I don't know.
Just
Alright,
avoid
I'll
people
put the sheet.
are unplugging from Wi-Fi.
No, we want to see what's being displayed on the stream,
Trades are on that sheet.
so we could see the
Guys, they're starting
sheet.
this draft.
If you guys toggle to the sheet.
They tell me hold up. Tell me hold up until we get the
I
live speed
can't.
on.
I
okay,
can't
they
connect
can-
it to
they
the
can
computer.
do it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
You're live now.
hold on, Arif. Can you pause it for a second, please?
I can't.
No, again, it's live.
Could you actually put in what you guys are seeing?
Guys,
No, you don't want to do that.
Guys, it's
There's a stutter. There's a lag.
okay, we're just waiting for the screen to come.
It's not going to work well.
Someone, can you just put it
Whatever you
up?
say.
I
Yeah.
can't.
What's the trade? There was a trade. What's the trade?
It's just a draft trade.
Can you tell us
Yeah.
what it is? 'Cause we can't see it on the.
sheet.
Well, we can't see anything
We
in
can't
front of us,
see
you
it.
know, right?
Can you
So,
log into the sheet, bro?
Yeah, just go Google.
Okay,
I
we're
just,
starting.
can you flip
Let's
the?
start. Go ahead.
Saman, I need you to flip the other laptop so we can see who the pick gets first.
All right, someone before we got cut off on the stream, you were
Yeah.
telling us your top 5.
Yeah,
wins.
I would just say that you got to pick the best player in the draft. That's the strategy. Like, don't go with
So
stupid strategy.
who would that be in your opinion?
In my opinion, Zubair is the Paulo Escobar of the Iceland ball hockey team. He's the best player available. You got to go with him.
What have you heard about him?
I've seen him play live.
Yeah.
in
Sorry,
Sri Lanka.
what's his last name?
Zubair Wahid.
Okay.
He's actually brother Uzair Wahid, who also plays for Team Pakistan. So right now we actually can't see the screen. So Imad, if you can let us know who the pick is, that would be helpful. So yeah, that would be my first pick.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. Possibly it could be Imad Khwaja or it could be Lukman. I mean, you've played
First
again.
overall, Lukman?
Within the first 3.
So Sugar trades number 2 and 19 to Haya for 6 and 13.
Okay, and can you just tell us who the GMs are? So right now we don't know the teams
Yeah.
by names.
So Sugar is Arslan and Hamza.
Okay.
Arslan Hamza Chaudhry.
You have to repeat it because that voice doesn't go there.
And Haya is Salman Khalid and Waqar Khan. Repeat it.
Repeat it.
Okay, so basically we've got the second overall traded from.
When he tells you something,
Right.
the mic won't pick that up, so you have to repeat what he just said.
Okay.
So Shukar, who is Arslan Mia and Hamza Chaudhry,
Arslani and Hamza Chaudhry have traded their.
second and 19th pick.
No, they had the second 19.
They traded second and 19 to Haya
Okay.
for 6 and 13. Haya is Salman and Waqar.
Okay, so Saman and Wakarno have the 6th and
But we,
the 13th pick?
No, they have second and 19.
No, Saman Khalid had the first pick overall, so it couldn't have been the other way around, right? Right.
I'm just telling you this.
No, I'm just because I picked the draft. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, man.
Smack
Just have to lay that.
Where's our reference? What are we looking at?
We're look-
No, our draft. To see the draft.
not working.
Use the tablet. It'll
Okay.
be better.
It's fine.
That's fine.
But all I see is ourselves in the tablet right now.
yeah,
We-
this is.
But
I don't
we're
wanna
using
see
your
myself.
view. We don't want to
Go to
see
Google
that.
Docs.
Go to Google Docs. Don't use the YouTube channel.
Who are we logged in as? right
Turn
now?
off YouTube.
Okay, Saqib, can you help out? So right now we're a bit lagged. So we'll get back
Do you even have
to.
access to it?
No.
You don't have access to our
Right
Google
now
Docs.
you are live. So
Right.
just apologize for the.
Yeah, we apologize, guys, for the bit of delay. We just got some communication difficulties in terms of what the picks are. Maybe what we could do for now, because we can't see, is if you can just let us know who the first, second, third pick is by just kind of verbally finding it out.
Actually, I know who the first pick overall.
Yeah.
It's been announced. For the first pick overall was Khwaja.
Imad Khwaja. So like I said 5 minutes ago, that it was either going to be Zubair or Imad Khwaja, or it could be Lukman. And Imad Khwaja now obviously plays both ends of the ice, quick runner, can shoot, can score. All when we were doing his rankings, he was kind of excellent all throughout. One thing that is the only weakness I can see with Imad is as the game goes on, as the season goes on, he could slow down a little bit. Given that the workload that he's going to be faced with. Also, he's playing with, Haris and Mehmet's team. So let's see how that works. But I think that's still a fantastic first pick.
Imam Khwaja's first pick.
Yeah,
You got that?
and we're ready now on the second pick right now.
Farouk Khan by
So-
Arslan and Hamza.
Okay, so Farouk Khan is a Greenbird Farouk Khan, not the Farouk Khan from Green
Sorry,
Army.
are we talking Farouk or Farouk?
Q.
So are we talking
Farouk.
Q? There we go.
So I guess Kashif, you know Farouk from
I don't know his game too well. What I do know is Farouk is a Greenbird, and then so already there to be able to qualify for a team like that and then play with them for many seasons. Obviously he's very skilled to play alongside with them. Now Farouk, unfortunately, my time with Farouk was when he played in Islam long ago, and he was a good player back then, and so I can't speak much of him. But what I do know, though, he is for sure he was a top 5 pick and clearly chosen there. That reflects the choice made by some of the younger Greenbirds in Arslan and Hamza.
Number 3 is Zubair Wahid by Azhar and Yasser.
So Azhar and Yasser have gone for the Montreal pick, who is Zubair Wahid. Now Zubair Wahid, like I said, is like the Paulo Escobar of Islam. He's going to be dominating this and dominating the defense. So no surprise here. Power defenseman. He can score. He can shoot. He can pass. Running might be slightly on the lesser side, but I've seen him dominate the game on his own. So no surprise that this is a third. I rated him as my first pick, but good to see that he's now a third pick.
Yeah, he's exciting to see come in. I have, what I've been informed of. He's from Montreal, but has just recently relocated to the GTA. So this will be his first dive into our league, and he's looking forward to it. So it's those that we'll give credit to Lukman who's recruited him, but it's exciting to see him join us.
Number 4, Abdul Rahim and Mohammed from Rida pick Yusuf Ingar.
Yeah, Yusuf Ingar. Now this is a Malton Mavericks pick. So the pick is from Abdul Manjra and Mohammad Qazi have picked Yusuf Ingar as the 4th overall pick. And as I was saying, this is essentially a Malton dominating player that has dominated the league for the last couple of years. He's a right shot and he can score, pass, quick. Probably one of the top 5 picks that joined a little bit late, right, Akasha? Yeah. This was not an earlier.
Yeah, and actually, just speaking very quickly on Yusuf Ingar, he actually just recently played for the Whitehawks in Salam Cup, and that said, Zubair Wahid was also on the Whitehawks. So these are two guys that that were on that same team. So yes.
Yeah. So we're waiting on the 5th pick. I believe that's.
There you go. The last one you did, Zubair?
No, it was Yusuf Ingar.
Yusuf Ingar was 4, so 5. So
we are waiting now on the pick that's going to be picked by Salman Khalid and Waqar Khan.
Team name and
the problem is I can't see the...
Yeah, just zoom it out a bit.
Yeah, we can't see the names right now because it's too small.
It's too small, yeah.
Well, then,
or can you give it? Can we just hold it? Can we put it on our laps?
Yeah, sure. You just
come
forward. Just come forward and
No, can we just take it?
It is a laptop.
No, I don't know about the power situation, right? I don't know if it's low on power. Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go.
So Wahab, can you announce the picks then?
Okay, sure. So the next pick, we did Farouk Khan, right? Oh no, number 1, 2, Zubair Wahid, Yusuf Ingar. Number 5.
Lukman's already picked 6.
Number 5 is Team Medina, which is Huzaifa Manjra and Naeem Akhtar. The team's name is Ihsan. They have chosen Aqib Malik at number 5. Would you like to?
I thought Aqib. I mean, it's a fantastic pick. Like I said, he's a Patrice Bergeron type of player who can play both ends. He's not a natural goal scorer. He's kind of the goal scorer that can provide in situations when you're dominating. So I think maybe the comfort level with Aqib was good, that Huzaifa and them knew his game, and that's what they went for. A guy that they knew was going to help their style of play.
He's a solid player, two-way game. What I do know is, irrespective, he's beneficial to any team that he's on. So, and he's always proven that, and so it's still a solid pick on their end.
Okay. Can we go on to the next one?
Yeah.
So in the Mecca division, Team Haya, which is Salman Khalid and Waqar Khan as the GMs, they have selected at number 6 Lukman Arshad.
Yeah, so I think Salman Waqar had the strategy. Let's shore up a defense first, and they also traded the second pick in order to get the 13th pick again. So good strategy. I think they're trying to make sure their defense is solid. Like Salman Khalid and Lukman playing both lefty, both power penalty killers, and also can take the ball up. They're going to help Bokar with his game. So good, solid pick. I think Lukman was a top 3 pick in my early draft ranking. So nice to see Lukman getting pick 6.
I can share something else. So Lukman obviously being a fantastic defenseman. Everyone's seen his game. We know that, he's a stud, in the blue line. But I can tell you right now that pick was specifically made for a reason. Salman has never played with Lukman, and he simply wants to play with him. And there was a lot of discussion originally of them being GM partners, and a lot of difficulty. But Salman expressed that in every way he wants to take Lukman. And then after that, he really doesn't care who else he drafts. He wants Lukman on his team, and he made sure that happened.
Yeah.
Salman does this every year. He doesn't pick based on necessarily the talent. He'll be like, oh, this guy wanted to play. He called me. He wanted to play on my team, and it still works out.
Yeah.
Somehow it still works out.
Next pick.
Let's move to the 7th.
Okay, so for the 7th pick in the Mecca division, Team Sabr with GMs Shaukat Khan and Mohammed Bilal, they have selected Razi Ahmed.
A Greenberg, and this is to no surprise. These guys play together all the time, and and they know their games extremely well. And I'm sure they're probably laughing at themselves right now that they're even though they got the 7th pick, they're still able to grab him. I'm sure they're extremely happy with that selection.
So we basically have a split of the 2 Greenberg teams. So far, the 6 of them have all been Greenbergs. So Hamza and Arslan also picking Farouk Khan, and then Shaukat Khan and Bilal picking Razi. So that's the Greenberg split there.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to the 8th pick in the Medina division, the GMs Fahad Mohammed and Maz Haq, Team Yaqeen, have selected Arif Bijabai.
Now, there's one reason for this selection. I know Fahad and Maz, they wanted offense. And what RF gives them is offense. RF can actually score goals. He's got a great shot. And I think Fahad knowing that, he can kind of play the back end with his, with being the number 1 goalie in the league right now, he wanted somebody who can score. And that's why they went with Arif Bijabai. They're familiar with his game. They know he can put the ball in the net. So that's a good pick, given the strategy is all offense from Fahad and Maz.
Okay. With the 9th overall pick in Jerusalem division, the GMs Dawood Chamber and Hamza Ali, Team Taqwa, have selected Huzaifa Panchpaya.
So, first thing I'm going to tell everyone here is this draft is actually riddled with Malton players, all right? And in fact, so a lot of them have not played in Iceland before. So a lot of us in Iceland, in the OC, are unfamiliar with their game. But Huzaifa is actually one of these players. But we know that there are some star players here. Huzaifa actually played for the Malton Jets, Group A Salam Cup recently. And so we know that, he's a good, solid player. Obviously, Dawood and Hamza know a little bit more than that to make him their first selection.
Okay, moving on to the 10th pick, the same team as we have the Snake draft. They pick again, and they have Riaz Lasagna.
So Riaz Lasagna used to play in Iceland before in sort of tier 1 when we used to have that. So he's a top end player. From what I understand, he's still a top 10, but has over the years he's not a 19-year-old again. So, you're going to see certain guys coming back after some time. Their speed level might not be the same, but they got the game. They can still put the ball in the net, and still a solid pick.
Okay. Then Team Yaqeen, Fahad and Maz picked 11th overall, Farouk Sani.
I think that's a bargain. I've seen Farouk's game develop over the last 2 years. He bona fide top 6 pick, in my opinion. The fact that he dropped out 11, I think that's a solid pick. Farouk can score, can run. You play pick up with him on Wednesdays as well. He is lights out, probably, just lighting up that pickup league. So, what do you think?
I think there's another level Farouk can reach. I think, I'm around him a lot. I think he's in a good space right now. I think he can definitely take it to another level. And that will be maybe one of the steals of the draft when all is said and done. I agree.
Okay, let's move on. No, that's good.
Okay. We have Team Sabr, Shaukat and Mohammed. 12th overall, they have picked Shahryar Khan.
Yeah, so Shahryar Khan played with the winning team with Shaukat Mohammed Bilal last season, had a lot of goals, can score from the point, can move. He's quick, but not as quick as what he was before. We had ranked him slightly in the mid 15 to 20s, but I think solid pick. A couple of GMs also wanted to pick Shahryar, but I think Shaukat and Mohammed Bilal, knowing the familiarity and knowing that he can score from the point, is a natural deal for him.
I like Shahryar Khan too. I think he's a solid player.
I'm sure he's going to fit in just very well with this extremely offensive-minded team already.
Yeah. This is this is going somewhere where let's see how the draft goes. But
Scary
already
team.
you
They're
can
looking
see,
scary already. Eh?
dominating
They're looking
team.
scary already.
I see a team that's already looking to score like 6-7 goals in a game and couldn't care less.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be
If they let
hard.
in a few goals.
Oh,
So yeah, it's all offense right now.
Okay, a 13th overall. Salman and Waqar, Team Haya. Yasin Admani.
Sorry, unfamiliar for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so Yasin is a player that has really good stats in Tier 3. OBTA 3-3, I believe. Has played with Waqar for a couple of seasons. He's a Waqar recruit, so as Waqar said, this guy's speed, he's built, it's a power forward. So, Waqar obviously has a strategy. He has some picks in mind. Once they got Lukman, essentially Salman's gonna hand it off the drafts to Waqar at this
They
point.
pick these guys. They pick their guys.
Yeah.
They don't. Again, they pick their guys, and they think we're just gonna pick guys that we know, and
Right.
we'll build something great from that.
Right.
The understanding
Yeah.
and the familiarity.
Let's go to the next pick.
14.
Yep.
In the Medina division, Team Hassan, which is Huzaifa and Naeem, they have picked Idris Dean.
Oh, the little roadrunner and sniper. We all know that Idris' game. It's all about offense and he's there strictly for pouring in goals into the net. That's his skill, and he does a good job at that. So he's just once again adding some solid offense to a team that has some serious shooting capabilities.
I think this pick could have been slightly better managed. Like, I think Idris is a fantastic player, but given the talent level we have in the draft, Farouk Khan was available, Yahya Engar was available. So I think maybe they want to go for a sniper. They know Huzaifa can play both ends, so Huzaifa's like, I just need somebody who can just blast the ball.
And Naeem can actually play both ends too.
Right.
So what is their strategy? We don't know that yet, right?
Right.
Both GMs are two-way players.
Right.
Fantastic on both ends of the floor. So somewhere in there they know what they're doing, and I'm sure. But we'll see how that all falls out.
The next pick, Team Ikhlas, Haris and Mohammed have picked Farouk Khan. I think he dropped a little bit.
Yeah, I had Farouk, Green Army Farouk in my top 10, and I think he still is a top 10 pick in my opinion. The fact that he's gone down, obviously Haris and Mehmet have bounced on him. I think clearly we can see that guys are going for offense in the first couple of picks. Farouk Khan is probably the second or third best defenseman right now available, and he got pick 15. Tells me that guys just want to load up offense first and then go for defense. So that could be just one strategy GMs are looking at. I mean, when you look at a team like Shaukat Khan, Sabr, all for goal scorers, snipers, passers. So now it's going to be different. Maybe that's what's kind of throwing everybody off. Like, let's go offense.
Pretty shocking in my opinion, but nonetheless, yeah.
That he dropped this much?
Never seen Farouk
He's
drop out of. I mean,
yeah.
ever drop out of the top 10. Farouk, pull out the tissue and the Kleenex. It's
Yeah, and he's
Chip
still.
on the shoulder.
Sorry, buddy.
Chip on the shoulder, man.
Play with it, but at the same time, this speaks to some of the talent that we have this season in Iceland. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Right.
Okay, 16th overall, Team Rida with Abdurrahim Manjra and Mohammed Qazi have picked Yahya Inger.
No surprise here. Like I said, this is a full Malton squad. So Malton Mavericks are picking the three brothers or three. That,
The
Ingars. And before the draft happened, I spoke with Abdul Manjra, and the strategy was laid out that the Ingars were probably going to go to them. So this is no surprise. Not many people have seen them, but their stats are pretty highlighting to say the least. And I believe Yusuf Ingar, as you mentioned, played in the Salam Cup, and Yahya is also quite talented from what I understand.
Okay, 17th, Team Iman, Azhar and Yasser have picked their brother Mudassir Madi Hussein.
Yeah, do we even need to go anywhere with this one? So this isn't obvious. We knew Mudassir was going to go there. I think it was just a question of when will they select their brother. Muddy's slowed down over the years. They know that, but nonetheless, they don't want to lose their opportunity to get him, and he can potentially
He's
be
skilled. He's still very skilled.
His skill will never go away.
Yeah.
His skill will never go away. The only thing he's losing is a little bit of foot speed, but really he makes up for that quite well. So it's, I mean, that there's nothing about this. They're putting their veteran Malton team together. This is the original Malton squad. So so far that's how I see things shaping up.
Have you noticed a common theme in the Iman team right now? A lot of snipers, but not a whole lot of foot speed.
We'll see how that works out.
Yep.
Number 18. Where is that? Oh, I think we're going to the next one. That would be Salman Khalid and Waqar Khan, Team Haya, Sufyan Sheikh. Oh, there's a trade to announce. Team Haya.
No, that's already been announced. That's the first round.
Okay, we talked about
Okay.
that. So Sufyan Sheikh, Team Haya. 18th overall.
Sufyan Sheikh. As far as I know, though, recently he just played for the Malton Jets Group A Salam Cup. So obviously, lots of skill over there. New to Islam, so I haven't been able to watch
Yeah.
Al-Raida's game. But
Yeah, so from what I understand, this is again a Wakar pick. Wakar's trying to load up his first line. So basically, Wakar's centering, Yasin on the right, and Sufyan on the left. So they've got their first pairing D run, and they've got the first line ready. So essentially, these are the first 5 core guys that are going to play, for their team. And I think, like I said, this is a team they're trying to draft their guys. And again, Sufyan Sheikh, he can score, he's quick. I don't know if he's a top 20 pick because I haven't seen him physically play, but I've heard great things about him.
Okay.
So he is. I played with him, and he's from the East End. He's a good pickup.
Okay, so we just heard a comment from Amhan Bobin, who's also scouting our guys from the East. So he mentioned that to justify that he is a fantastic player and can snipe and run and play both ends.
Yep, a good pickup for their team.
Okay, Team Shukr picked next, 19th overall. This is Arslan and Hamza's team. Sufyan Qazi.
This seems like a very odd pick. I mean, I don't know much about Sufyan. My understanding is that he could be related to one of our GMs in this. Is this a pick that people are doing because to trade? This is what because I don't see Arslan and Hamza knowing too many guys outside.
No, this is another Malton pick. And Sufyan, alongside with guys like Huzaifa, Panjbaya, and Finger and others, he's playing alongside with these guys very regularly. He's someone that's been playing in the Malton Mavericks Gym League and others as well. So and played Slum Cup. So others that are selecting this, it's not new to guys like Arslan and Hamza who have selected him. They've clearly watched his game.
Right.
They know where he stands, and this has nothing. Absolutely, I'm positive. Absolutely nothing to do with a bargaining chip. This is someone that they want on their roster.
Okay.
20th overall, Team Iman, which is Azhar and Yasser, the brothers. They have picked Rizwan Hassan.
We actually don't know much about Rizwan.
Oh, I know too much about Rizwan.
Yeah.
Rizwan is another veteran. Rizwan is from the original Malton crew. He is another person who's played 500 decades with Azhar and Yasser and Muddy and the rest of the Malton boys. And so another vet. And so this is again, to no surprise, there's a certain list of guys, this group that will more than likely be drafted together, play together. I'm just a little bit surprised that, in my personal opinion, Rizwan was selected a bit early. Again, like the others, he's lost some foot speed. Again, we're talking about a veteran here. So they've gone with their guys. There's a lot of veterans on this team. I don't see the youth, but they've picked with the guys that they're very comfortable playing with.
No,
Yeah.
fine.
Farhan Inger, 21st overall to Team Rida, Abdul Rahim, and Muhammad.
So this is another third Ingar that's been picked with the the Team Rida. Again, I think this is playing out the cards of Abdul Rahim Manjra and Muhammad Qazi as well. They came as GMs. They had a strategy. We want to pick our guys. Some guys people don't know much about, but I think guys are also respecting the fact that, you know what, if you've got certain guys that you want to play with, I think it works out better. And like the Greenbirds pick the Greenbirds, the Jets are picking the Jets, and the rest of the guys are getting scattered.
Man, there's
Guys, Sakab has breaking news. He's gonna come in.
okay. We got some breaking news
Breaking
here,
news
guys.
coming in, guys.
Not really breaking news, but just reports from the floor happening. So we have Dawood and Hamza will be looking for a defenseman. So their next few picks may be a defenseman. Now we have RC and Hamza Chaudhry. From what I heard is they're looking for all forwards.
So what was the first team that you said? What was the first team you said?
Hamza and Dawood.
That's
So
Team Taqwa.
that's Dawood and Hamza have who's right now Huzaifa, Panjwar, Riyaz Lasanya, Ibrahim Hindi, and Muhammad
We haven't
Hamdoul.
Oh, we
announced the picks
haven't
yet,
gotten
so
there
we
yet,
can't-
so right.
yeah. Okay, so why don't we continue with our
Yeah.
original
Thank you.
order, and we'll stop in the middle.
Then we'll
and
talk
we
about
can-
later. Right.
strategy.
Okay, where were we? Farhan
So
Inger,
I
20.
was just talking about so
Yeah.
we're talking about
Strategy here.
what team is that? Team Rida. And so Abdul Rahim Mandra and Muhammad Qazi, Malton, and right now, as far as I know, they're gonna draft as much Malton as possible. In fact, I can tell you guys right now, I had difficulty in preparing a scouting report on the Malton players because they're all hush hush. They didn't want to reveal their skills because all these Malton players are hoping to be drafted on a Malton team. Right. So they're all hoping to go as underground. So anyways, the Ingar hat trick has been made. The first 3 picks are all Ingars. They've achieved that. Let's see, what else happens.
And I'll make another prediction. It hasn't been picked yet, but I believe the Punjabayas are also a Abdul Rahim Mandra Muhammad Qazi type.
Again, they're all Malton. Yeah. It's all going to happen. I mean, one way or another, they're going to go after them.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to the next one.
Team Ikhlas, Haris and Mehmet have selected at 22nd Hani Suleiman.
I really like the team, the strategy here by Haris Imam. They're going with guys they know. They're familiar with the Iceland guys. Hani Suleiman is a bona fide goal scorer in Iceland. He's played top tiers. And you know what? The only thing I can say is as long as Hani's showing up to the games, this team will be good. They got Imad, they got Hani, they got Farouk Khan in back, and Mehmed. Pretty competitive team here.
Okay.
23rd overall, Huzaifa Naim's team, Team Hassan, have selected Ajmal Ismatiyar.
Oh, I'm happy with this pick. In
I
fact,
like him too.
I'm just happy that Ajmal has returned to Iceland.
Yes.
Ajmal was an incredible veteran, our player that we had playing in the league in the years back. A great leader, a great captain, and then and he'd score buckets, and so he was it was fantastic. And so, anyways, we haven't seen Ajmal for a few years. He's continued to play his game, and and Huzaifa and others are very familiar with the way he plays. Happy to have him.
Credit to the OC for changing the location, making it accessible to these guys, to some of these players. That's clearly the reason why they've come back.
Yeah,
so
it's a former Sarakans player as well,
yeah.
So good pick here.
Okay, 24th overall, we have Arslan Mia and Hamza Chaudhry's team Shukr have selected Bilal Hafiz.
Actually, let me put it, Mr. Fit.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Fit.
Mr.
Bilal,
Fit.
Mr. Fit Hafiz.
Yeah. No surprise. I'll let you speak on that.
No, completely. You're talking about an absolute. You're talking about a veteran, a star defenseman, someone rock solid on defense, and who's just going to cause fits for any opposition that comes his way. Although I'm kind of curious now. He's probably going to now put his team to a very strict regiment of fitness, and they're probably going to be doing laps before the game and push-ups. Do your thing, Bilal. Whatever it takes. I probably need it too still.
I hope I don't get picked by him. Okay, 25th overall, Shaukat Khan Muhammad Bilal, Team Sabr, have selected Suhaib Sheikh.
Suhaib Sheikh. Okay, so my understanding is Suhaib played for... if I'm quite correct, he played for the Malton Jets, Group A, Salam Cup. So another player very familiar to, he played with, I think, guys like Abdul Rahim Mandra and Muhammad Qazi. But nonetheless, he is a Malton player, and a very solid player. That's where, as my understanding is that, he's just a solid offensive player, and guys are familiar with his game.
There's so much talent here. I'm just looking at the guys getting picked here. This is this low. I mean, I'll announce. Can we go? You want to talk about Suhaib first?
Yeah, we're trying to wrap up.
Yeah, so let's go.
We're trying to wrap up round 3, and we're talking about
tier 1 players.
We're talking about the top 27 players outside of even star GMs. And as far as we're concerned, there's just some awesome talent that's still being scooped up. We're this late in the game.
This way, guys who scored a lot of goals last season, like Hindi and RF Khan, have not been picked yet. So that tells you that the deep pool, how pool they.
Well, let's blow our minds with the next pick. Go ahead.
Yeah, 26th overall.
Unbelievable.
Yakin. Fahad and Maz have picked Arsal Shahabuddin.
Did everybody forget that Arsal was on the
round
draft?
last year? Was he first round last year?
Arsal Shahabuddin, first round, always for life. Wow, what is he doing in the late?
I only know one reason. I only know one reason for that. Yeah, he won the green with the green. Only one reason this could happen: the fact that he's a Habs fan, the fact that Habs are having a tough time, and the fact that maybe Arsal just got. I think maybe Arsal's just oversight from the GM. It's like,
yes,
I think it's just oversight.
Yeah, I'm sure Fahad and Maz are over the moon on this one.
Yeah.
They recently played with Green Army in the Slam Cup and won a championship with them. Arsal was on that roster, and obviously they know what they're doing, and probably excited that they're able to scoop him this late into the draft.
Well, let's go to 27th.
Okay, to wrap up the final round.
Team Taqwa, Dawood and Hamza Ali have selected Ibrahim Hindi.
I like this pick. Ibrahim brings character, leadership, clean player. He is a defensive forward. Every team needs that. And I feel that Dawood and Hamza, being familiar with Ibrahim, they've played a couple of seasons with him. I think that's going to be a good pick. The key with Ibrahim Hindi is he has to show up. I know he's really busy with his commitments and travel, but I think if Ibrahim can show up majority of the games, he'd be a solid pick. Again, Ibrahim Hindi at 27th is still a very, very, very good pick.
Exactly. You're talking a center who can play, throughout the game, great leader, and, he's just someone that will help stabilize that team.
Next pick, same team as we go around the snake.
Round 4, guys.
Round 4. First pick of round 4. 28th overall, Mohammed Hamoud.
Hamoudi.
Hamoudi.
Hamoudi has been picked 28th. Usually, again, first rounder, multiple seasons before. He's seeing his name at round 428. He's probably looking at the talent level. He's like, do I even have a chance? No, he's got a solid shot. He's probably got a bona fide tier 1 shot.
Yeah.
And I think at this stage, when you're around 4 and 5, you're looking for a defenseman or a forward that can shoot the ball. The speed is not much in question. Most teams have already drafted the guys who have speed. Now at this point, it's pure skill and if you can score.
Man, so two-way game. We know, Hamoudi's great on both ends. These guys, they have a plan. I don't know where they're going to use him, in the front end or in the back, but nonetheless, wherever it is, he's a solid contributor.
All right, move on to Team Yaqeen. Fahad and Maz have picked Suleiman Bhatti.
So, do you know Suleiman?
Okay, I'll tell you. I heard about Suleiman very recently from a relative of mine in the East End. He said that he's a really good player, but he had maybe been out of the scene for a little while, but he's recently gotten in shape, and he could be lights out. It could be a steal at this point. That's what I've heard.
So I guess Fahad at this point is going with...
Guys, there's news that Irfan Patel might be traded.
Okay. So we have just heard that potentially... we haven't talked about this pick yet, so maybe we'll just keep it on the download. But there is a trade that has already been made because there's a slight lag between the list that we're getting. But let's just keep that on the back end as we announce the 37th pick.
Let's go to 30th overall pick. Shaukat and Mohammed Team Sabr have picked goalie Ali Khwaja.
Best goalie in the draft, in my opinion. Won the cup last year. They just look at the first 4 picks for the GMs. Mohammad Shaukat Khan, Mohammad Bal have Razi Ahmed, Shahryar Khan, Sohaib Sheikh, and now we have Ali Khwaja. You already have one line complete. Now you get the best goalie, and essentially now this is a very stacked team right now at this point. And again, like I said, this is a very Greenbirds looking like team.
Scary team, man.
Last year's team, actually.
Yeah.
Ali, I have a soft spot for Ali. So does Arif. He was our goalie, won our championship many years ago, and he just won, I think, the last year as well, didn't he? Yeah. So he's a clutch goalie. I think he's a little underrated. But obviously not that underrated because he's gone the second goalie picked, right?
Right.
Or the first goalie picked, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next one, 31st overall. Team Shukr, which is Arslan Hamza, have picked Sajid Payat.
Yeah, another Malton veteran here. Sajid Payat, it's an interesting pick. I think Sajid is a fantastic player. He's a defensive forward who can play offense. I think there were other offensive players available, but I think familiarity. At this point, guys want to pick guys that they're familiar with. And Sajid is one guy that you can't go wrong with. He's not a guy who's going to cause you liability or anything. He's a guy who's actually going to help you. So if you think you only got goal scorers, and you're trying to just make sure you got some solid second, third line players, from this standard of Iceland, second, third line is still very good. So I think that's a solid pick.
He's great in the room too. So I think that's why he always gets picked a little higher than maybe he should, because people just love his presence in the room. Very positive.
And he just added me on Instagram last night. So
there you go. 31st. Move on now to 32. 32, which is 32nd overall. Team Ehsan, Huzaifa and Naeem. They have picked Hanif Kasuji.
So Hanif was GM with Huzaifa a couple of seasons ago. From my understanding, Hanif is a very quick. He can score. He's a fast runner. Yeah. Don't know much about his defensive game, but this is a Huzaifa pick. I already predicted, kind of pre-drafted guys, that certain guys will go with Huzaifa. Hanif was one of the guys, that is going to go with Huzaifa. So solid pick. I also think he was a top 20 pick. Kind of dropped down because not many people knew about him, but fantastic pick there.
Do you have anything to add about Hanif Kasuji?
Oh, well, Hanif was where was he drafted? Was he drafted?
Let me
guess. Before I even see this, I would assume that he was drafted by Huzaifa.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so there you go. So Huzaifa and Hanif played in Iceland one season. They GM'd together. Hanif is an offensive stud. Just solid player. I had every expectation that Huzaifa will draft him, and that clearly happened.
Right.
Okay. 33rd overall, Haris Malik, Mehmed Rizanovic, Team Ikhlas have selected Salman Syed.
Yeah, so Salman Syed, again, He's played in the Iceland a couple of seasons. He's quick. His game is not the same level that it was when he was in Team Pakistan many years ago. Obviously, he's as people age and stuff, but still very quick. Still is a threat.
Yes.
But I think goal scoring has been a slight issue for him over the years, and so that's why he's dropped down from, let's say, 15th to 33rd.
Right.
But if he does light up, if his game comes back, this is a steal that
I think so too. Yeah.
I
He's
agree.
a good player. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Should we move on?
Yep.
31st overall, Abdul Rahim and Mohammad Qazi, Team Rida, have selected a goalie, Mohammad Patel.
No surprise to me. We're
Okay.
Malton goalie.
Oh, okay.
Let's keep the theme going, guys. Malton,
Malton.
West Side for life. Yes. So, anyways, that's what they're maintaining here, and Mohammad Patel, being a Malton goalie, that's who they had lined up all along. That's the goalie they wanted. That's the goalie they got.
Now, there's one twist to this. There's 2 Mohammad Patel goalies in the Malton League.
That's
I
right.
think this is the one that had the 909 save percentage, as opposed to the one that had the
This
lower.
is the older. Yeah, this is the
older-
older,
that's
skilled,
right.
more skilled one.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
that's
this is the Mohammad Patel, the veteran, and like I said, if there's one GM that came to this draft knowing exactly who was going to pick what, it's Abdul Rahim Manjra and Mohammad Qazi. They have so far picked everybody they thought they're going to pick. in
Hold
the
on a
order.
second. Actually, now that I think about it, this might actually be the younger Mohammad Patel. Nonetheless, because I'm just remembering some commentary and from Abdul Rahim Manjra that this goalie still is solid, a little bit shorter in stature, but
Right.
he's a solid goalie all around. I'm not sure if this is the one that they used in Group A in Slam Cup. I think it is the other one, but nonetheless, they were someone
Right.
that they were very comfortable with.
Yeah, there was, like I said, I don't know the stats, but not the gym league, but the other league. If this is the same guy, he had 909 save percentage. That speaks a lot.
Okay, let's
Okay.
keep going through this. They're well ahead of
We have another goalie picked in the 35 at the 35 slot. Team Iman, Azhar and Mazhar Hussain have selected their brother Yasser Hussain.
There we go. Do we need
No.
to say anything here?
No, like a brother theme. I think they could have picked Yasser a bit late. I think that he could have still been available, but I think it's still a solid pick. Mazhar and Azhar, in my opinion, obviously have a strategy. They want to pick Malton as well, but they also want to have a great pick, and they want to have their family. Family chemistry matters a lot, and I think rather than risk losing with Yasser, communicating too. Yeah, it just makes it easier.
It's just in the same car
Yeah.
and stuff.
All right.
Next pick, 36th overall, Team Haya, Salman and Wakar have selected Adil Awan. So no
Really?
surprise here.
Really?
That's
No
right there.
surprise.
TMT
That's a
here,
team. That's a team, man.
So TMT again.
TMT.
Adil Awan won a championship last time he played,
Yeah.
but he got injured. He had, a very horrifying injury. If I must
Really?
recollect.
Yes.
Yeah, he was out for at least 1 year because of that, and he's coming back. So that's why he got dropped lower in the draft. In my opinion, he's a number one pairing defenseman. They already have Lukman. They already have Salman. Now you get a number 3 defenseman who actually plays the first line minutes.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
probably the best defensive. Like, I know Vakar is all about offense, but I think Salman's done here is said, hey, I'm gonna pick the first guy. You pick the next 3 guys, and then we're gonna go back to defense.
It's
a
they
steal.
have a
It's just-
ridiculously awesome defense already.
Yeah, and if they get a good goalie at that point, it's gonna be really hard to score against this team.
Exactly.
They selected
Yeah, sorry, we're into the 5th round now.
a 5th round, correct. 37th overall. The same team has picked Irfan Bhana Patel.
Well, let me stop there because I believe there might be a trade here before we talk about Irfan Bhana Patel.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Can we talk about what the trade is?
The rumor says he might be heading to Rida.
Okay, so it's still a point. It's still a rumor. So Irfan, if you're hearing your name, I called you the Ilya Kovalchuk of this league. I've had you as a top
Really?
10. So I think this is a steal of a pick. I really think the steal of in my opinion, Irfan Bhana Patel, if he's the same type of player that was a couple of seasons ago, he can score. And we all know there's one issue that is always coming back for most guys. But if this is a player that we think he is the same level, I think a very good steal of a pick. But we don't know if he's headed to.
I don't know enough about him.
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
Irfan is a absolutely solid game, but I haven't seen it in a few years. I still think he's got the talent. So at this stage, that's still a solid pick.
Okay. Next pick, 38th overall, Ittisham Qureshi was selected by Azhar and Mazhar, Team Iman.
Man, here we go again. So the theme continues. Team Iman, led by Azhar and Mazhar, are continuing to pick their old veteran Malton crew.
No one's younger than 35.
No one's younger than 35, but they're picking everyone that they're familiar with. They've played many years together. This is a team that is so familiar with each other's game. The only question I have is, where will foot speed be? But this team, this is all expectations.
I'm gonna make a big prediction here, knowing how how Yasser and the Sands work. Is every season they've been GM, there's always been trades right after the draft was done. This could be a strategy. I know they're picking the guys. They're picking a lot of snipers here. Like I said, sniping strategy. Want to goal score. But who does Yasser have on defense? He's got Zubair. Obviously, that's the best defenseman. But who is going to pair with Zubair is my question. Right now, I don't see a number one defenseman that can support Zubair, because you see other teams have either really talented guys, offensive guys. What Azhar and Mazhar have done, they've gone a full offense all out with Zubair kind of holding the back end. So I think that there's a possibility, and I'm gonna just make a big prediction, that Zubair could be a play, not maybe today, but maybe a week or 2 weeks from now. This is just watch out for this prediction, and just remember, this is what I said, that those Sands are gonna trade somebody at some point, probably from their first 3 picks.
You heard it here first. Okay, next pick, 39th overall. Itesham's a great player, by the way. I've grown up with him. Very good player. He could end up being a steal at that point. 39th overall?
Let's guess.
Yep.
Can you guys get what the last name of this next player is?
Okay, let's say, I'll tell you the team first. Team Rida, Yusuf Inger, Yahya Inger, Farhan Inger, Mohamed Patel, and the 39th pick.
Can anybody guess?
Drum roll.
Da-da-da.
It's an Inger.
It's an Inger.
Omer Inger.
Not much known about him. Again,
Yeah.
like I said, this is a Malton pick. Abdul Manjra, when I sat with him before, and by the way, the story with me, Abdul Manjra, we started a cricket career together. We played in the same cricket club. He's an awesome guy, but he's very straight up. He's a very honest guy. And when I spoke with him right before the draft, he told me one thing. He said, I have a strategy, and I want to get my guys. And that's exactly what's been happening so far.
He said, he wants Malton, and the Malton guy said that's who they want to play for. And so far, that marriage is happening. That's all we're seeing. Malton, this is a strict Malton team so far.
The best part about this is everybody's going to know what the role is in Abdul Manjur's team. They know who's going to be the first line, the second line, third line. This is not going to be an unfamiliar territory. So in my opinion, they might not be the best skilled team, but they're probably the team with the best chemistry.
Let's see what happens.
Yep.
40th overall, Haris and Mehmed, Team Ikhlas, have picked their boy Azhar Zafar.
So Azhar, again, would probably be a top 25 pick. Just I think his endurance and his athleticism
in this talent
you know
pool?
what? Sometimes it's not just all talent. You're playing in a small arena. Remember that. So
is it smaller?
It's a smaller arena that we play. It's less slippery.
Okay.
Could you imagine a soccer player like Azhar would be dominating with his feet and his movement?
Yeah.
But do we know he's available? Because the last couple of
That's the
seasons,
thing,
Azhar's been there 50% of the games. So
Very active.
Haris and Mehmed have gone with Hani Sulman and Azhar. Guys sometimes might have scheduling conflicts. So hopefully they show up, because otherwise Imad will have to carry a big load on this team.
Okay, move on.
Yeah.
Team Hassan, Huzaifa and Naeem have picked Tayyib Khan.
Another sleeper pick, from my understanding, Huzaifa's pick. I knew this was a Huzaifa pick. I don't know much about him. All I know is that Huzaifa knows a couple of guys from East. He's recruited them. Good for that. Good for him, and good for the league. Nice to see certain guys coming from the East End.
Okay, let's move on. Team Shukr.
There's no trades until after the draft.
Okay. So just to announce, we just heard that there will be no trades for the portion of the draft that we're talking about until after it's been communicated from the TSN room.
Team Ihsan, Huzaifa and Naeem have picked. Did that. Team Shukr, Arslan Mia and Hamza Chaudhry have picked at 42nd. Omar Panchbaya.
One of the Panchbaya brothers, and I know
Yeah,
is that this is a very talented family or talented group of people. Arslan seems to be going the Malton route.
So this is what I find interesting too. So yeah, Arslan's done his homework as well, and him and Hamza clearly know a lot about the Malton family, and they're also dipping into the pool and selecting players from there. And so there seems to be no hesitation here. They've gone and snagged Omar Panchbaya at this point. But I don't know his skill level, but these guys I'm sure are confident with their selection.
Let's go to the next pick.
You're excited about this one, eh?
This is my favorite one. But maybe you talk about the team and I'll talk about
Team
the
Sabr, Shaukat Khan, Mohammed Bilal have picked.
Okay, before I say this name, I know this person is watching his name to be heard, and he's probably just live right now. Come on, talk.
You can look right in the camera. Address him.
Your name is up now. Dr. Abdul Sharkawi is our next player, and this is funny. You're being picked at number 43, which is your favorite Nazem Kadri's number. So, I could not have ever imagined Abdul Sharkawi would be picked at 43. His game has improved a lot.
Yeah.
I know, Kashi, we haven't seen him last season, but when he played with Baba, he was amazing. The fact that he went 43 to the same team to his own family member at 43, it's a steal of a pick. I mean, I can't believe this. Like that guys like Abdul Sharkawi are getting dropped at 43. This is oversight in my opinion.
His hockey sense is next level.
Oh,
he's reaching next level hockey sense. The way you're saying he's improving, it's not that he's gotten faster, or stronger, or younger.
Sharky, you hear that? I thought at your age, the brain cells have all deteriorated, but these guys are raving.
I mean, hockey sense. I don't know. His jokes are still. I don't know.
And we meant to say 43 as in your number 43, not your age 43. Picked up.
43.
No, that's the pick. No, he's not.
Sorry.
He's 27.
I'm sorry.
He's been
27.
He's
been 27 for the last 15 years. What's that?
He's been flirting with retirement.
Flirting with retirement. Yeah.
Do you guys know at 43, since Abdul Sharkawi's picked, there's one guy that hasn't been picked. His name is Arif Khan. Do you know how many goals he scored last season?
Yeah, he's gone a little quiet.
Does anyone know how many goals Arif Khan scored last season?
He's a steal at this point. I'll say it. He's a steal at this point.
Arif Khan, do you know how many goals Arif Khan scored last season?
6.
He scored 6 goals.
How many assists though?
With a broken hamstring. With a broken hamstring, he scored 6 goals, including a play where he beat Wakar to going back. So and scored.
I don't remember that one, but I'm sure he did it.
Yeah, he actually beat me to it.
Let's go to number 44.
44th overall. Team Yakin, Fahad, and Maz have picked Taha Azhar. I think a steal there. What do you think?
Oh man, so yeah, I think so too. At this point now, I didn't even know what to say. When I say at this point, we're getting surprised, but I guess there's just a lot of talent in this in the draft right now. So for Taha now is an extremely speedy player. In fact, he's one of the fastest guys in the draft. We can clearly say that, and so Fahad Muhammad, for them to Fahad and Maz to be able to select him, I think there's a strategy behind what they want, and speed is seems to be a factor, and offense is a big deal. So that's an interesting pick. But
with Taha, we put him on D when he came back after a bit of a hiatus. We put him on D and he flourished there. And I think recently he's been put on. I mean, teams have saw how he played and they put him on forward. I think he's better as a D man. I think he prefers playing D, but whatever team's listening. But let's see. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, 45th overall. Dawood and Hamza, Team Taqwa, have selected our friend Hamza Hussain.
I love Hamza Hussain as a player. He's a solid defenseman, but got picked too early in this draft. I think that like I said, there's names like Zahid Panjabaya, Hasnain, Atif Mia. I mean,
Atif Mia is still on the
Ahmed
board.
Ibrahim. And I think you're going with a defenseman at this point. Again, like I said, familiarity plays a big role, and Iceland GMs who've played in Iceland the last 4 or 5 years are obviously going with familiar names. But I think Hamza could have been probably a better pick at 55th or 54th as opposed to at 45th.
Yeah, it was, I think maybe a familiarity pick, but he's a shutdown guy. A lot of people have told me that he's hard to get around.
I agree. You're not looking for offense from Hamza, but you're getting some solid defense. You have a guy who's extremely reliable to chase guys down, to get to the ball, and to get that ball out of the zone. He plays a great defensive game. Still it's a great pick. I'm happy with Hamza's game.
All right. Then they went ahead and picked at 46th overall, Saqib Kokar.
Wow, go ahead.
Saqib is very quick. He can score goals. He plays both ends very well. Is he a 46th pick? Like, again, in earlier drafts, he would probably be like a 30th, 35th pick, even 25th pick. But I think he's being picked 46th. Again, familiar. In my opinion, Dawood Hamza are doing something that they know a guy how he plays. If they know that's how they're going to control their first line, this is how the second, third line are going to go. Sometimes it's just you want to get chemistry, you want to get guys you're familiar with, good dressing room guys, good character guys. Saqib's got get that.
His game improved a lot over Salam Cup.
Yeah, and he played in the Salam Cup. He's been a solid addition. So I think this is not a first line player for this draft. I think he's a second line right winger or left winger that's gonna control the tempo.
I predicted breakout season for him.
Arif Khan predicts a breakout season for Saqib.
You hear that, Saqib?
I hear Saqib, a lot of pressure on you. If you don't score, then we're gonna just come back to our.
You gotta prove him right.
Okay, next pick. Team Yaqeen, Fahad and Maz have picked at 47th Salim Malik.
Not much has to say about Malik's. I mean, what's interesting is Aqib Malik got picked in the first round, and now this is a second Malik that's coming from the same family at 47th. The way I see the Maliks is, if they're playing in one team, this is an unbeatable team. But the fact that they're scattered around, we saw last season too, the Maliks were scattered eventually, then they came back, certain guys came back to one team. Salim, obviously, you know, his game is a two-ways, a grinding kind of game, but who can score as well. Yeah. So it's going to be difficult to score, you know, given the level of talent we have here now in this league. But I think Salim brings that element, the second line presence. That you need a guy, a second line that's not just about scoring, that's playing defensively, and Salim can run. So I feel that you're getting a runner, you're getting a scorer, and you're getting a balanced player that plays both ends.
Cool. Let's go.
Next pick.
48th.
Team Sabr. Shaukat and Mohammed have picked. Shall we call him? No, we won't call him that. Ahmed Ibrahim,
the league commissioner.
Our league commissioner, is he? Yes, league commissioner.
Yeah, they won the championship last year. So again, Shaukat Mohammed, like I said, once they get the core guys, it doesn't matter who you pick after. But they want to get familiar guys, the guys who won championship, because they know if the first line scores 4 or 5 goals, what does the second, third line have to do to make sure that there's no liability on that end? And they got one of the better goalies in the league as well now. So this is probably a very dominating team I can see just from this first look of it. And what's funny is that we're still into the round 7 and 8,
like
5, 6, and there's still first, second line players that are still kind of being.
It looks like last year's team, like the
pretty much.
Team
Other than Razi and Suhaib,
they added to
it's
it.
Pretty much.
They added to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Next pick, 49th overall. Team Shukr, Arslan, and Hamza have selected Atif Mian.
So Tifman, Atif Mian, also known as Tifman.
I didn't know.
Surprised here that Atif got picked early. Atif may not be available for the first half of the season. He's going through a bit of an eye surgery. He's trying to fix his eyes. Nothing big. But he's commuting also from Cambridge. So this is a guy who can run, and I mean run like he is a soccer player. So obviously, who's quick on their team? Farouk Khan, Arslan Mia Hamza, both 3 quick guys. I mean, let's throw another 4th guy in there who can run. Imagine this team playing against, I won't say who, but you know which team I mentioned earlier might make some trades. A team with a bunch of snipers that are not so fast. Imagine this team playing against them. I can see a lot of trouble for those guys, because remember, when you're playing against a very quick young team, that could haunt you in the end. And I think this is where our strategy is. Let's go quick.
Okay.
We're at 50.
We're at 50 now. 50th overall. Team Ihsan, Huzaifa and Naheem have picked Hasnain Termizi.
I think this is another great pick, a late pick, but Hasnain is another former MVP of the league back in in his earlier days that he played in Islam, that being in Tier 2, just like Ajmal, and so just someone who is pouring points in nonstop, and so again a great scorer, big tall guy. And so it'll be good to see now, what Hasnain's game will be like, after some absence. We haven't seen him in a while, but I think, he should be fine.
Okay, let's move on to to the 51st pick. Team Ikhlas, Haris and Mehmed have selected Zahid Panchbaya.
So Zahid was a star, and when I think of Malton players, Zahid is one of those core people that I always think of. Now, for me, now that I haven't played in the Malton scene, or haven't seen the Malton players in so long, to see so many Malton players drafted already makes me wondering, how good are these guys? Because I thought Zahid was amongst the premier Malton players, and so anyways, Zahid's extremely fast and can score, and he's great to any offense that he's a part of. So I still think he's a great pickup, but I'm very curious to what are all these other Malton players that have already been drafted are like for Zahid to be drafted only now.
That's a good point. Okay, let's move on. Team Rida, Abdurrahim and Muhammad have selected at 52nd overall Fahad Panchbaya.
So Fahad is probably out of the Punjabi brothers. I know Zahid's got a lot of stats. Fahad has also a lot of stats available on Malta Mavericks and Tier 3 or Tier 4 type of ball hockey leagues. I have never seen Fahad, but like I said, when I talked to guys, they said this is a solid player. The fact that he's going 52nd, Abdul Manzar is probably thinking, nobody knows his guys, but he knows his guys. So he's sticking to the plan. There is no deviation from Abdul Rahim Manjra. It's chemistry. Go with the guys you know. What's funny is interesting is that most of these guys play in the same Malta Mavericks league. So if these guys are probably playing, 2 games, on Friday, playing with their league and then coming back to us. So this is an exciting bunch of players.
Yeah.
Quick guys. Now I don't know a whole lot of goal scorers. Abdul Manjra can score. Mohammad Kazim can score. Yahya can score. The other guys in this level of talent pool, it might be tough. But I think this league is not just about winning. It's about team chemistry. It's about brotherhood. And that's what I like, that this is where it's shaping up.
Okay. Next pick, 53rd overall. Team Iman, Yasser, and Mazhar have selected Shahrukh Shah.
Yeah, no familiarity on that name. But obviously Mazhar Azhar know Shahrukh Shah. None of us know Shahrukh, so I can't comment much.
All I can offer is a guy with a name like Shahrukh. I think he's got to be good, right?
Yeah, you got to be a star. When your name is Shahrukh, you better be a star. So no pressure, Shahrukh, but we're just saying welcome to the league, and hopefully it works out.
Okay, 54th overall, Salman Waqar, Team Haya have picked Sadat Malik.
So I played with Sadat last season. Sadat solid pick. Again, what I'm seeing here is, and see if you can agree with me. First pairing is Salman and Luqman. The second pairing is on defense going to be Adil Awan and Sadat Malik.
Wow.
So you've basically shut down.
Yeah.
You're basically going with the game that you want to shut down the other team. So for the top two lines.
Bill Burke used to say, right? You got to build from the Brian Burke.
Right. Yeah.
The goalie out.
Oh yeah, goalie out. You build goalie defense out. One thing I don't think they've done, in my opinion, is as good as they have a great first line.
Defense out,
but their second line is missing. And we're in round 8 now.
The question with these guys is always, do they even need a second line? That's
that's the thing. But I mean, they've got a great defensive setup. Yeah. I'll give that to them. They probably have the best defensive first four. But unless the thinking is Waqar is going to dominate, he's going to score goals like he always does.
Yeah.
But who's going to score the secondary goal scoring?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. So I can, unless Luqman and Salman are going to just play the offense defense back, like they're going to, that's the way. If everything was a one-line team, they probably would be one of the favorites.
This is a good point. You're right. I mean, it does look like they've stacked the D, and they're kind of not that well-rounded at this point.
Right.
They take some sort of kind of unconventional approach to it. Okay, next pick, same team, and we're now in the eighth round.
Yep.
The seventh round. They've selected Yusuf Kapoor, the goalie.
Yusuf won a championship with Waqar and Samani. I guess I was part of that as well. Yusuf's game has improved. His game is to another level now. I wouldn't say he is the best goalie in the league, but his positioning, his ability, because he also plays pickup and tries to give himself warm up. So I think the only thing that can go against Yusuf is like he just has a bad day, or if he's sleeping. One time, hands up, he was sleeping and didn't realize that he had a game. But again, Yusuf's matured a lot. He's playing with the best 4 defensemen that he could think of. So is Yusuf going to be positionally sound covered? Yeah, he's going to be positionally very better off, and he's playing with an elite defensive core. So let's see how that shapes up.
He makes all the saves he's supposed to, and you're right. He struggled in the beginning, and this kid did not give up.
Right.
And he has become a very good goaltender. Smaller guy, but he knows how to play the angles and everything.
And Mubarak to him, mashallah, he went for Hajj.
Okay.
Sorry, he went for Hajj.
Mubarak to Yusuf, if you're watching. Oh, he's there right now, so he's not watching, obviously.
Right.
Team Iman, Yasser and Mazhar have selected Azhar Hussain, their brother.
Do we need to speak about this, or is this?
No, we can move on. We're actually this draft is going fast.
Yeah,
really behind.
Yeah, really behind.
So let's catch up.
57th. Abdurrahim Mohammed from Team Rida have selected Amr Panchbaya.
Another Malton pick, another Panchbaya. I predicted before the Panchbayas were selected that Ingars and Panchbayas were going to go to Abdurrahim.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening.
Are these all brothers in the same family?
I don't know if they're brothers. I think they might be related.
Yeah, maybe related, yeah. Okay, next pick. Needs no introduction. Team Ikhlas, Haris and Mehmed have selected Arif Khan.
Steal of a pick. I was saying earlier too. How does a guy like
Arif Khan... And we have to say that because he's sitting right there.
Well, guys, if you guys are watching this setup, this video and everything, thanks to Mr. Arif Khan here. I don't normally compliment too many Hab fans too much,
Oh,
but
he's- I
that
keep
that just
forgetting. Yeah, he's
that
really
just
good at that.
that's
Yo,
that's
yo.
just RF.
Yeah, that's why I got picked so low.
They
yeah.
got picked so late.
I think so, yeah.
No, I think he's a solid.
Yeah, Yo, get that out of here, bro.
Yeah, he is like I think a very underrated guy given that he's
Yeah.
coming back out. He played last season after coming back some time, but he can put the ball in the net. You saw
Yes.
in the break how many breakaways he had, and you know what?
Mind.
RF is the kind of player
Good
you give
mind,
him
stick handling.
one little room, he'll score that.
Yeah.
He'll make that. He knows how to find the net.
He's very skilled player.
Yeah.
And mine. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Completely.
he played with a broken hamstring last season, so give credit to him.
That's
if he's,
right,
Yeah,
yes.
and if he's healthy,
Yeah.
and he's fit, then he can be really dangerous.
He could be really dangerous. Yeah.
Imagine him playing with Imad Khwaja. I think
Yeah, I
he's
don't
probably
know.
happy he's going to play
getting
with
some
Imad
real
Khwaja.
time info here. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to maybe.
But I feel that he's going to. I also feel that he might be traded.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Another team has been scouting him.
Okay.
And was hoping to draft him. I won't say which team, but I
Mhm.
think he could be a play.
Okay. Next pick is a goalie. Has been goalie selected 59th overall. Team Hassan, Josefa and Naim have picked Mohamed Kasuji.
I don't know anything about Mohamed Kasuji. All I know is that Josefa said there is a goalie from the East and he's really good. Maybe that's Mohamed
That's the thing.
Kasuji.
This whole element of mystery of
Right.
all the multiplayer is going to be making for an exciting season here.
The next pick we're gonna announce, maybe it's just someone that.
Okay, we'll let Kash. Do you want to announce the next pick?
Yeah, do you want to announce the next
Yeah,
pick? We'll talk about his
It's right
pick.
here.
Guys, where are we at?
He's right here.
Number 60th.
Number 60th. Yeah, you can go
Announce the
ahead.
team and who the
Yeah,
pick
announce
is.
the team's pick, yeah,
So number 60 is
Yeah.
a complete sleeper.
yeah. Oh,
Like literally, this guy just sleeps. Like that's all he wants to do is sleep. His name is
I
Kashif
agree.
Taqiyuddin.
You know what? That's the most accurate one you've done so far.
Yeah. So you know how I said like earlier, there's gonna be certain guys that will just slip down, but if they bring their A game back, they could be really helpful for the team members.
Yeah.
I think Kashif is that kind of player. You know, I've seen him score from weird spots. Just that one little opening on great goalies. He's obviously his foot speed's not the same. He's battled with injuries. He's got knee issues, but when he's playing on probably what I say is one of the quicker teams, he doesn't have to worry about speed too much because he's got guys that can cover him up. He just has to put the ball on the net and hope that that it's gonna go in. He can put the ball in the net. I have no doubt, but injuries are a question mark here. But otherwise, solid pick.
I'm a big fan of his game. That's all I'll add. I'm a big fan of his game. I think he got picked too low here. He's a great player. Sometimes he can dominate.
He was Coach K for Arsalan and Hamza. Maybe there's something they're looking for over there.
Yeah.
All right. 61st overall, Team Sabr, Shaukat and Mohammed have picked
All-Star.
Rizwan All-Star,
Mr.
Rizwan Malik.
All-Star.
Mr.
All-Star, yeah, you don't plug for him. All-Star Driving School. Great.
All-Star
great,
Rizwan Malik.
Yeah.
No surprise here. I think it's a bit of could have been picked earlier. Rizwan Malik is the kind of guy. If you're on the bench with him, he's gonna be screaming and screaming for you, cheering for you. You want that guy on your team. That's gonna be saying your names. Do it. Let's do it. I've heard this guy, talk and scream for the sake of winning, and he's changed the game around. He's not just cheering for your team. If as a friend he knows you, he's gonna cheer for you no matter where he's from or where he's standing. So solid pick. He can run, and his goal scoring has dipped over the last couple of years, but he's a good runner. He's still a guy you don't want to play against. He's the kind of guy that I hate playing against because he just plays with that clean aggression, and it's not fun. But again, I love the guy, and he's really admirable.
All right.
Okay, move on. 62nd overall, Fahad and Maz from Team Yakin have picked Talib Contractor.
I'm gonna say it again. Yet another person returning to Islam after many seasons. A top scorer. And
Quick
I can't
runner.
recall.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he was an MVP
Just a
or not.
machine.
But yes, nonetheless, like complete scoring machine.
He's so fit.
And
He is like how Bilal Hafiz fit. Talib is another Mr. Fit.
Mr. Fit.
And Talib, I think, was on a world tour. Like he was busy, so he couldn't play hockey. But he played on our team the last couple of seasons ago. Solid guy, solid. Like just someone you want to have with quickness. Finish might not be there like as yet, but relative to the other first couple of picks. But if this was a couple of years ago, he'd be like a top 15, top 10 pick. Obviously, the fact he's dropped down to number 62 it tells you about the talent level in the pool and the
Could be
draft this year.
steal.
Talib, welcome back.
63rd pick.
63rd pick. 63rd pick. Dawood and Hamza Team Taqwa have selected Ahmed Mobeen, the goalie.
Ahmed Mobeen. So Ahmed Mobeen. First of all, I love the fact that Ahmed is so fit and he keeps his cross fitness in check. But I'll say this: Ahmed can play better. Over the last 2 seasons, we've seen him being in a non-playoff team. His game is still very good, but he just been unfortunate and of being on teams where goal scoring was an issue. I hope that this is rectified. This
No, you're
season.
right. I think what happened is Ahmed got picked high on teams. They were like, and as a result, the team might not have been as good because they picked him instead of a position player. And he's been on some kind of not so great teams, and he's had to
Save the day all
save
the
the
time.
day, and he could. Now he's been picked more down the lineup, so this could be good for him too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next one. The next team, the same team, Team Taqwa, 64th overall. We are now in which round?
Round 8.
Round 8. 64th overall, Ibrahim Butt.
Ibrahim Butt has a laser beam of a shot. I think this is a Malton kid that played last season with Yasser Hussain's team, and I saw his shot is a laser beam. But he has an issue in the sense that adjusting from gym league to sort of the arena. That's what I found that was a bit missing. But as the season went on, he got more comfortable. I saw him in warm-ups and shooting, and I was like, you need to shoot more. And certain guys you see in warm-ups, they're shooting like lights out, and then when the game comes, it's not there. Maybe he's hesitant to see young guys trying to keep up their game, but Ibrahim Butt still a solid pick. He can score.
Okay. 65th pick, Fahad and Maz, Team Yakin, have picked Faisal Mahboob.
Gosh, if you can go with
There are certain nicknames I love using. I
Which
can't
one?
use that
Can't
here
say
on the
that.
screen.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise,
Do we have a delay? Beep, sensor delay? No? Come on, man.
We don't have to.
Come on.
But Faisal brings he brings a lot of speed to the floor, and he's a solid offenseman. That's something that he does a great contributor to the front end, and I think what team has he gone? So I think his game has already been monitored and watched by Fahad and Maz, and I think this is the right place for him to get selected.
Okay. 66th pick, Ali Murtaza goes to Team Sabr, Shaukat and Muhammad.
Veteran
Yeah.
Ali, how long are these legs gonna keep running for?
You want to say something? Just say it.
No, you go ahead. You
Yeah,
guys
alright,
go
go
first.
ahead.
Well, Ali has a solid two-way game, but as he gets older, he was a power forward, and the game is slowing down a bit. Nonetheless, he keeps running and does his thing. Ali is at this point though he's expressed very much. I'd like to see how it fits. Ali loves to play offense. However, he's always used on defense. He's hoping that doesn't happen again. He's clearly said that he wants to be a forward. Perhaps BJ and Baba are going to let him have that opportunity. We'll see how he contributes.
I think they need a second, third line that's going to be, kind of balance things out. Ali Murtaza will be that guy that can balance things out as a center. Ali's always played well when he's not in a core first line role. But if he's given a second, third, he's probably the best second, third line player available from a center position. If he's playing that role, I think that'd be solid.
Okay. Next pick. Well, we finished Zuhair just now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we? Okay.
No,
wait,
no, we
okay.
didn't. Ali,
Sorry,
so
I stole the thunder.
Just- no.
Zuhair, 67th pick, Zuhair Fancy. Team Shukr has selected him. Arsalam Mia and Hamza. Let's talk about Zuhair.
well, you guys talk about there.
You know Zuhair?
We're talking about our favorite veteran.
Zuhair, yeah. You know what? He's more valued than he always gets picked. But he actually got picked pretty
Reasonably, right?
reasonably in this draft. Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
I think people are starting to recognize what he brings.
His game on defense, he's obviously a veteran. His IQ is great,
Okay.
and he's got, he's solid in the back,
Exactly.
and so he knows what to do, and he likes to get under people's skin too. I love
That's
that part of
right.
his game,
Yeah, he's
and
a
so
different person
anyways,
out there, different person.
but exactly, but you know what you get with Zuhair, and so
Yeah.
he's going to fit in well
Right.
on
All
this
I
team.
see is Zuhair and Kashif are going to be that second pair
Oh,
of
that's
defensemen
right.
for this
Same
team. And that's pretty good.
So I wasn't diving into that, but at the same time too, it's been forever. I can't even recall the last time we've ever played together. If we ever did play together
Really?
in
After all
Iceland.
these years? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's very interesting.
Clearly,
so-
Arslan and Hamza want to have two OCs on their team, and
Yeah, this team's just gonna
this is gonna
disqualify the winning team.
let's
So
just
they
make
get
them a
away, you
playoff
just-
team right away.
Equipment.
However,
I take EMT, I take Interact, I'll take whatever it is.
Okay, next one. Goalie picked Mohammed. Oh, sorry. 68th overall. Sorry, Farhan Siddiqui was selected by Team Ehsan.
The doctor.
This is Dr. Farhan Siddiqui. The reason this pick was made as special, I was just informed that Josefa mentioned that Dr. Farhan owes him a party for finishing as runner-up on the championship team. Oh, sorry, they did win a championship a couple of years ago, and Dr. Farhan still owes that big party. So, and Dr. Farhan is known for being generous and throwing good barbecue parties. So, this message actually just was delivered to me from Huzafa to Dr. Farhan. Farhan, you were picked because you owe him a party. So, there you go.
Okay.
Again, you're a beast out there. Nobody can move you. So, I think you're going to be playing as a second pairing defenseman for Huzafa.
Okay. 69th pick overall. Haris Malik, team Mehmed, Team Ikhlas have picked Ibrahim Khan.
Now this is Ibrahim. His game has evolved over the years. He's quick, phenomenally quick. He has to improve on his two-way game. I think if he can improve his two-way game, he will go from a 69 pick to like a 25th, 30th pick. But a solid addition. He can score as well. Has to work on his slap shot. Doesn't have a slap shot yet, but he's quick and he's not a liability.
The raw skill is there with him. Yeah. If he can put it together, watch out. I think that's definitely a guy who can improve.
Yeah. Next pick is a bit shocker.
Team Rida Abdurrahim and Mohammed have picked Saqib Sheikh at 70th.
I would say Saqib at 70th in any other year would have been a perfectly reasonable pick. But given that we had guys like Salman Alvi, Bilal Khan, Abdul Wahab available, Saqib, Salman Azmath, Taki, Fazel Thakur, Amin Multani still available. We haven't talked about it yet. So Saqib was picked before. There's a lot of pressure now on Saqib. This could be what we had last season. I don't want to mention the name, but we all know there was somebody that got picked earlier. Although that was third round. This is at 70th. I think we're now getting into character, guys. At this point, it's not skill level necessarily. It's more character.
Let's talk about what team you guys think are the strongest from right now.
In my opinion, by the way, are we going to do the full draft, or are
let's complete the last two picks of round 8, and then let's discuss what we see now forming from what's been done.
Yasser Mazhar, Team Iman have picked at 71st Imran Singh.
I don't know anything about Imran Singh. All I know is that the only people I knew have picked him.
So I don't even know about this too. So my understanding is Imran Singh is an East End player. I believe he was a Aman Mobeen recruit to our league. But I absolutely don't know anything about his game. So, do Yasser and Mazhar? I don't know.
I think they do. This could be a name that there's a middle name and there's another name attached, but people have, may not necessarily know much. But I think that Azhar and Yasser and Mazhar, Azhar, Yasser and Mazhar brothers know a lot of people in Malton and outside. It's just down to that. They have some sleeper picks and they're just making them at play. This is the rounds we're going to find sleeper picks at play here. And like I said, at this point, other teams, like if you're a team like Baba or Waqar, you've done your core. You're not looking for any surprises at this point. You want to make sure you got character guys who can support your first line players to win.
All right, so let's wrap up the 8th round.
8th round, 72nd, Haya, Salman Waqar have selected Ali Malik.
Ali, I believe, is Naeem's nephew.
Yes.
I believe Naeem didn't sign up.
That was not this time around.
Not this time around, but Ali's quick.
Yeah.
When he did play last couple of seasons ago, he did score a couple of goals.
He was almost point per game, I think.
Last
year, yeah. So.
And so, Waqar obviously, by the way, just to wrap up their team, their first pair is Luqman and Salman Khalid. Their second pair is Sadat Malik and Adil Awan. They've already essentially, gotten their core defense. At this point, you want to get scoring. And who do you get with scoring? You get now Ali Malik as your secondary scorer. I think it's good pick. He can run. He's quick.
I personally think when we talk about this team, they've loaded it up on defense. It's just a lot of star D. I honestly think they already have the offense. That's because it's Waqar. I think that's just enough. Waqar on his own has done so much damage to every team that he's ever faced. And so he caused fits. So it's but yes, now we're going to surround him with some more offense and so forth. So it looks like the blue line is locked down, and now it's just a matter of
character guys.
Exactly, and who's going to essentially assist Waqar,
yes, because we know Waqar's going to dominate with center position. Someone, I believe we can do one more pick after that, just to kind of call it off for the round 9.
73rd, Salman Alvi.
Salman Alvi played on the championship team with Waqar as a second line center. Now they got the second line center. They get the second line winger, and at that point, the goal scorings are done.
Alvi's too low here. Always too low. I
Yeah,
think
oh,
that
yeah,
was
someone
better
will be-
still.
so-
He's
He's been
playing
shape.
really
He's been
good.
shape. We've been playing pickup
Yeah.
with him too. He's been in
Yeah.
shape. He can score. He can pass. Elite shooter, I would say.
Elite shooter.
So interesting to see. We are you surprised? I know we're going to cover our draft here. Are you surprised with majority of the picks going to people? I'm not surprised with the draft where people are heading towards.
So again, what's changed in this draft from all previous drafts is the fact that there's been a move in location from the West End now to the center, and move to the hangar. As a result, there are more players that are in closer proximity to to coming to the league, and so now that's why we have a lot more new faces. And so we're used to people getting drafted in certain places, but now with the addition of all these other new faces,
Right.
it's completely shifted the balance. So it's really interesting to see now, from my perspective, the guys that we know that and traditionally have gone in particular rounds, now to see them fall. Right? I'm sure some of you may have a chip on your shoulder. I'm going to say it straight up right now. Don't, because your game hasn't changed, and I think the expectation is that you'll still perform exactly what we believe that you're capable of. You may now try to work harder, and and to show yourselves that you're better than what they thought. But this is a broader pool. We're playing with a lot more guys now, so this is and that's the only reason why this is happening. But don't take that as a discredit to your skills or your talents.
What I'll do is maybe what we'll just do is we'll read out just the names just so people can hear the names. We're not going to talk now about any skill level or anything, but we'll just kind of go catch up to.
I like that idea.
Yep.
I think we can finish this round, and
Yeah.
we shouldn't go any further.
Right.
We should stop there,
Right.
and just talk about now how it looks. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there was Salman Alvi to begin the 9th round at 73rd. Then Team Iman, Mazhar and Yasser picked Bilal Khan. Then Team Rida, Abdurrahim Muhammad picked Mohsen Mahbub at 75. Then Haris and Mehmed, Team Ikhlas picked me, Abdul Wahab Muhammad.
Our man here.
76.
See, this is where we go back. Let me just quickly say, what on earth is this guy doing being selected there? Like, I think we should have been swapped. This is ridiculous in my opinion. Why is Abdul Wahab, drafted after me? I don't understand. It's beyond my comprehension. Just a great, skill. So, again, we'll see how this all forms and where it is. But this is a great pickup on, for their team at this stage.
Checks in the mail, buddy. Thanks a lot.
That's
Appreciate
right.
it.
I do take checks.
Thanks. Okay, next one, 77th overall. Faraz Alvi was picked by Team Hassan and Huzaifa Naim.
Could you imagine Faraz Alvi and Naeem shooting from the point?
This is absolutely
Ridiculous. Like, it's
Why is Faraz Alvi?
Faraz Alvi, yeah.
This man, no matter what happens, even I think if he's going to be 80 years old, that shot is going to remain there.
It's a bullet shot.
Yeah.
If there's one guy in the league that has probably blocked a lot of shots,
Yeah.
I can easily say with confidence that it's been myself over the years, just getting in front of the ball, just taking it. I've blocked a Faraz Alvi shot, and believe me, I've blocked Hamoudi's shot. Faraz Alvi's got a dangerous, deadly shot, and it hurt. It really stinked, and I cannot imagine. If I have a position to play where usually I play blocking shots at roll, imagine blocking Faraz and Naeem on the same shift. Like it's just
absolutely insane. You want this guy on your power. You want this guy on your power play. You want him on your point.
There's some good picks here, man. 78, Amr Hanif, picked by Team Shukr, Arslan and Hamza. Then we have Team Sabr, Shaukat Mohammed picked Taki Ahmed at 78.
family member. Let's just put also.
Yeah, but Taki's good.
Taki you picked at 78. And as much as that sounds
Mind blowing to us.
mind blowing to us,
I
I
know,
picked
this is
78.
league now. Fahad Mohammed, Maz, Team Yaqeen. Fazel Takwar, our guy.
Yeah,
Maz is
Fazel's
78.
I don't know if anybody knows, but Fazel's actually a third cousin of mine.
Oh,
What?
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Well,
No. Cut the feed.
We got to do something about this.
Okay. That's cool.
And just to wrap up that,
Yeah.
the 9th round, the final pick was Umar Isawi.
So, yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about how teams have shaped up. In my opinion, so far, I think the team that stands out to me the most is Team Sabr.
I concur. I completely.
This lights out. This team would be right now if everybody's showing up, given the chemistry they have, given the guys they've drafted, given the goalie they've drafted.
Yeah.
If there's one weakness in this team, is that they don't have a solid second pairing defenseman. They have a first pair, but they don't have a second pair. That's where things will get difficult for this team. They will dominate on the first shift. But when the first line's coming off and the second pair is coming up, Sherrill's going to play the first pair of defensemen. But when the second pair is going to come off, given that you're going to stack up against the other guys, defensemen, that's where it's going to be an issue. But that might not be an issue. Baba's won a championship with Mohamed Bilal.
So that team is all offense, and it's riddled with great offense, and that's the way they've played. I'm still kind of curious to find out, who's actually the D on their team. But when you have Ali Khwaja in net, does it matter?
No, it doesn't. The Sharia Khan's going to play in D. He played D last season too, and he was able to move up. One guy I think is been key for them was Ahmed Ibrahim last year. Ahmed Ibrahim, also known as Habibi, took his game from sort of like the mid round to almost another elite level, and his fitness, his cross fitness, he can score goals now, and he can run both ends without getting tired. So in my opinion, the fact that their strategy is all offense, let's score 4 or 5 goals, and then we're basically going to have Khwaja kind of make the big saves. However, if that strategy doesn't work, and then they get scored upon, and then their first line's getting tired, other teams, what I would say is, you're playing against this team, get them tired out. That's your only way to win. The second team I think is really looking good. Obviously, is I think Salman Khalid Waqar Khan's team. They probably have the best defensive team. Like I said, look at the defensemen. Luqman and Salman Khalid. You can't go wrong with that pair.
Absolutely.
The second pair is Adil Awan and Sadat Malik. Sadat Malik was a horse for them last season.
Of course.
So this is bona fide best defensive team overall. I'm not saying from the first pair, but kind of like first 4. They have to score.
It makes me wonder though when I look at this roster and with the defense that they've drafted. I'm now curious to know, is Salman Khalid going to play defense or is he going to play as a forward?
I think he's going to play defense. Now, here's the thing. Here's an interesting thing. Salman Khalid, remember, had the second pick overall. He needed his guy who was Luqman, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
So that trade now makes perfect sense because if he was going to draft Luqman as a second overall, he would have to wait till number 19 to draft again. So the fact that he got his guy at 6 and 13, they got their guy Yasin, which I had known in advance that this was the guy they're going to get. That trade was perfectly in place for them. What I was surprised was if they had the second pick overall, why didn't they go with Zubair? To me, Zubair is the force in this league. Not many people have seen him play. This guy is Drew Doughty. Like I'm telling you, I saw him dominate that last shift when he was playing against the Greenbergs.
One of the
top players in Montreal. His brother is another phenomenal player. I saw Uzair and Zubair on that last shift. I have a video of them dominated. Fahad was lights out, saving save after save. But yeah, I mean, I thought Zubair, they could have picked Zubair too. But I think just the familiarity with going with Luqman, and Luqman's a character guy, and is a leader, and Zubair's a leader as well. But I think it was probably just down to who do you know better, and that's where they went with the left shot. But I think that's where a right shot would have been handier. The other thing is, sometimes people look at it as advantage or disadvantage. They have all 4 left shooting defensemen, elite level left shooting defensemen, not a right shooter. That's where Zubair would have been handier, I think. But I could be wrong. That's every GM goes drafts according to themselves.
I would have been happy to be drafted on that team, Phil, irrespective that it's just it looks great.
Were you upset to be drafted on our team?
Just out of curiosity, are you surprised that I got drafted? Which team I got drafted in?
That hasn't been announced. Let's take a look.
That has been announced.
It's 91st.
Yeah, 91st Summit Hamidi.
Yes.
Team Hayat.
There he goes. He's happy where he is. The love affair with Boom Boom continues.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah, so as you all know, that I know Boom Boom and Waqar, Saman pretty well. Played with them like almost 4 seasons in a row. So it's a natural fit. Like I said, everybody's being drafted to where they're familiar with, they're friends with. Nice to see that in the draft. Also, some guys kind of going back and forth. I still think Zubair is going to be a player. Yasser's has the best sniping team, I think. If you look at their snipers, Zubair, Mudassir, Ehtisham, Azhar, Mazhar, Imran Singh, I don't know, but my understanding is this is a sniper type of player. They have a lot of snipers. Rizwan Hassan, is he a sniper as well? or is he more of a
Former.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But you got like that is again. So I've seen teams like this in the past that have
Right.
been that have been in Iceland where it's full of veterans.
Right.
So the IQ is there, the leadership is there. And they tend to do their scoring, but the speed is not there. But because of their skill, they tend to teams like that tend to compensate for the lack of speed. But they move the ball better, and
Right.
so that's how they make up for things. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull this off. I'm concerned that the speed is not there on that team, but nonetheless, though, the leadership and the and the veteran experience is there.
Are you surprised that Haris has drafted Hamza's dad?
So there are things that are happening here, and we know that there are potentials for trade. Naeem Ali, for sure. He's open to playing wherever, but nonetheless, he was hoping to fall on his son's team. Strictly made it clear that it's just for ease of commuting, as the two of them will be coming together. So yeah, a little surprise on that. I don't think there is any reason for him to draft Naeem.
He's good enough where teams are probably like, you know what, we're gonna grab him here. And you can give us value for it.
And that's exactly it.
Enough,
So there's a point where someone knows that this guy wants to be on this team, but you have an obligation to draft that person.
Right.
If you think you can just get away with it and wait for that person to be the last pick, no. At that point, if I was a GM, I'd say enough is enough. You've had your chance. Now I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah.
I agree. I think but I think Zubair is going to be play later. Just knowing how Yasser and Mazhar have in the past worked, but I could be completely wrong. One team I really like how it's shaping up is the Manjras. Sorry, Abdul Manjra and Mohammad
Team
Qasim.
Malton.
Malton won. Team Malton won.
Yeah.
There's another Malton. Aslan Mia's team also shaping like a junior Malton team now. But I think Abdul Manjra's first 9-10 picks, all people that he knows, all the people that he recruited. Now, just to kind of let you know how this kind of shaped up, was in the Salam Cup. We obviously, as Iceland, people, we reached out to a lot of players. We were advertising. Thanks to everyone's effort. We wanted to make sure that we are welcoming everyone. And when we knew that Abdul Manjra was on board and the Hazards were on board, they were going to help us recruit these Malta players. And it's so fitting and nice to see that a lot of these guys are kind of going these teams. And all of these are nice, lovely brothers. So we're really excited to see them on board and welcoming all of them to Iceland. And inshallah, you'll be seeing certain guys like me, Saqib, and Arif trying to interview guys. So just keep Ed Salman and just make sure that you're giving us your inside scoops and we'll do some funny stuff with you guys as well. But really excited for this team. Like I said, this is not a team that I think is gonna be a bona fide number one winning team. I think this is a team that has the best chemistry. And when it comes to playoffs, when it comes to that level, believe me, chemistry wins over skill level. And that's kind of what we're seeing. Remember the Soleimans from a couple of years ago when they won the championship? They were not the best team, but the most team that gelled together.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
At this point, as the draft is, wrapping up and the final rounds are making their way through right now. Just want to say to all of those new players in the league, first of all, we're grateful that you guys are joining us, and I think what you will experience is the brotherhood and the community, that exists in this league. And so, there's good reason why this is a draft league, and it's not just so that you play with your own boys, but also the moment you get exposure to other players and they get exposure to you, you suddenly have a larger pool of friends and people who want to play with you, and vice versa. And so, this is a great opportunity for all of you, and I'm talking about all of you new players to the league, a great opportunity for you to showcase your skills and talent. And that's what this is about. And then year after year, you're going to find that, others will want you, and play with you. And it's just, it's a great opportunity. I think it's fantastic. And we really look forward to what you can do.
I've made some very good friends from this league, just because of this league. Yeah. Definitely opportunities there. It's great. Yeah, I agree.
Interesting to see. Amir Multani was a 83rd pick. Any thoughts on that?
Sorry,
Well, when it comes down to it, so we won't speak so much of late picks, but what we can say is Amir Multani. One of the reasons why he's dropped is simply because he's expected to miss at least 4 games this season, and so I think players want someone who will be there regularly contributing. And so as a result, that was something that was taken into consideration. Other than that, Multani still plays his game. There's nothing to take away from his skill. And, and he'll probably continue in that fashion. There was this one season where, there was a lot of expected of him. And it didn't work out, but nonetheless, then he admirably came back, in his next season. So he drops, yeah, okay, Armour dropped, but he's gonna fill in nicely for that team still.
Abdur Zubair, who came here today, he obviously has an injured arm. Did not get picked at Haris' team. He got picked with Josefa Manjur's team. Possibly a trade at play here?
I would imagine that to happen, given that he was a GM 24 hours ago.
Right.
Unfortunately, he had a biking accident. He broke his wrist, and his future is unknown. He still has to see a specialist. This coming Wednesday, and he'll get a synopsis in terms of what is the extent of his injury. So we know that he's going to miss a big share of games. Definitely at least 4, if not possibly up to 6. That said, it's still a bit of a surprise to me that Haris did not draft him at some point when he should have, and and Josefa decided that this is the right time to step in and take him.
I was actually upstairs when that happened, and Haris was getting ready to pick, and they got picked, but there was a mistake. But they've talked it out, and I think that it'll get ironed out.
So as we said, we expect some sort of deal to happen.
Right.
When some of the guys that there's certain people that GMs want on their team, and if it doesn't happen, they're definitely ready to do what it takes to make sure that they can get that person.
I like a pick for Fahad's team. I think they're balanced. I don't think they're the strongest. I think they're balanced. Is Fazal Takur, and Fazal Takur, in my opinion, is a solid second pairing or third pairing defense. Although I don't know if he's playing offense, but
again, two-way player,
right? Like that, to me, if there's a player that teams can target as a trade, like you want to play both ends, that's a guy you want. Osama Rao, another player, I think is a really good pick. But given the level of talent, all these guys are going in the last 4 rounds. It's kind of speaking of how the season's going to shape up. It's going to be the ball movement this year is going to be phenomenally off the charts. First 4 or 5 minutes, it's going to be what the teams are they're going to do well is going to come down to your second, third pairs, your second and third lines. How balanced are you, and are you going to score goals, or are you looking to just making sure that your first line's rested enough? What you want to make sure is your first line's always rested enough so they can still dominate the proceedings. I think teams that are just going to tire out the first line because they feel like that's the only line they have, they're not going to fly too much. I think this draft we've got at least two lines that are good. I think if you look at Team Haya, they've got probably the best defensive. So if they're playing a game where it's like 1-0, 2-0, they're going to win it. But if they're playing a game where they're down 4-0 or 3-0, it's really hard to come back because a team like that has a really good first line, and second line may not be as dominating. Whereas a team like I think Shaukat Khan, Mohamed Bilal, you can almost run the two lines and be like, that's it. They can win on their own. But defense is where they have a bit of a question mark. Every team has their own. I think Yasser's team is a bunch of snipers. They're playing a team where they're up 5-2. They should still be worried, in my opinion, because they don't have elite runners as I see it. That's where things can change. That's why I say a player like Zubair might be in play.
That'll be great. Let's wrap this up. So
okay. So
anyway, it's now they're into the last round. Things are shaping up. But again, from our perspective, the talent pool in this league is a lot higher than what we've seen in the past. And so lots of picks have gone, strangely later than ever, anticipated. No one take that, as a knack on their skills. It's just that there's just a much larger talent pool. And I think, we're all going to enjoy a great time this season. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. It's been an absence for me for a year. I'm going to be returning back. And, and I'm looking forward to the challenge of playing against all this great young talent.
All right, guys. My last words would be that I think that, like I said, it's going to be a faster game. But like I said, the team that has a strategy in place, that they play according to a plan, is going to come out on top. I think all teams are equally talented. Maybe one or two is slightly more. Like in my opinion, Sabah is probably a standout team. A team that I think people underrate would be a team like Ikhlas. But they got snipers like Arif. They got guys like Imad Khwaja, Hani. This is an Islam team.
Yes.
Islam team, and they know the familiarity with their guys. Zahid Panjabaya as well, Azhar. This is a team that's going to give a hard time to other guys. And the only thing I can say is that can work against them is if guys don't show up, for example.
Mhm.
That's when they will have trouble. But even though Haris and Mehmed are GMs, like we give them kind of like the balancing first pick. I think Imad, in my opinion, is going to be, you know, the deal breaker for them.
Final words.
It was a pleasure to. Thanks for inviting me. It was a pleasure to do this. I had a lot of fun, and definitely I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
sticking
you.
around, guys,
Thank
and staying with us through this whole draft.
Just to remind the audience that we will also be doing another show on a full analysis after we've digested all.
That's right. Yeah. So as like I said before, every season, every draft, we do the picks, and then we also do a post show. So stay tuned for a post show around, I believe, 4:30.
Maybe another.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for around 4:30ish. And a big thanks to RF Khan for all the video and lighting
the whole
support,
team.
and the whole team.
Can we flip that
Saman,
around? Can you
Saqib,
flip it around? No?
and
Flip it around.
We've got a great media crew
Imad,
supporting us.
and everyone kind of going back and forth. So big.
Hey,
this is big,
there you go. Arif
for
and
us.
Salman.
Yeah. So and I apologize to all the Hab fans for running it like that, but
For being Habs fans?
yeah, for
they're
being
done.
it is what it is. Maturity will be traded.
All right, guys.
All right,
Yeah.
Salam
From us,
Thank you.
signing
Take
out.
care.